70% of change initiatives fail. And the number one reason doesn't come down to the technical side. It doesn't come down to lack of resources or poor planning or project management. It comes down to the people. Lack of engagement and buy-in from people. Now, as a certified pro-sci change practitioner, I've seen firsthand that when people don't feel engaged, when they don't feel valued and heard, meaning they're not committed or they're not emotionally connected, any change initiative can basically be thrown out the window. And this matters now more than ever, because in our entire planet, only 21% of employees actually consider themselves engaged. And in the US, that's just a little bit more at 31% engaged. Isn't that shocking? So today we're going to talk about 3 strategies that actually work to engage your people as a leader, as a people manager. Number 1 is to be the bridge. Number 2 is to recognize regularly. And number 3 is to individualize your approach. So let's get into it. Tip number 1 is to be the bridge. Now, as a manager, you're essentially the bridge between leadership and your team. And your job is to be an advocate, to visibly support the change and to help your team understand why we're making the change. And to also be a liaison, meaning bringing your team's reality back to leadership, leadership back to your team. Now, what does this look like in practice? Let's say, for example, leadership announces a change that they want to make. You don't just pass it along to your team, run away, stick your head in your computer and do your thing. Your job is to become a champion for the change. You share with your team why we're making the change. Why now? What's in it for them? You're being the bridge. You say, hey team, listen, I know that this new system right now just feels a little bit clunky. And here's why we're doing it. And here's how it could actually help you in 3 months. And I'd really love to hear from you. What might I be able to do or leadership be able to do to make this transition smoother for you? We care about you. And then you walk across the bridge toward leadership and say, hey, leadership, this is what the team is struggling with. They need XYZ in order to make this work even smoother. And then you walk across the bridge back to your team and you say, hey team, I shared this feedback with leadership. Here's what we're working on. Here's what's going to change, etc., etc. This bridge, your job comes down to trust. It's making sure that your team members feel safe and they feel heard. So try this. In the next week, ask your team for one thing that's not working, or one thing that could be better, and report it to leadership and then report back to your team. Tip number 2 is to recognize regularly. Now, as a people person, a leader, a people manager, I know that you care about your team. And sometimes we get busy and that slips away and we forget to do the recognizing and the appreciating. We're human, that's normal. So let's create a simple system, a team recognition system to make this easy for you. What this looks like is maybe a standing agenda item in your weekly meeting. Or you might set a phone reminders, maybe Fridays at lunch or Fridays at 4 p.m. or Wednesdays, whatever it is, of a little text reminder on your phone saying, hey, who did a great job this week? And then to text them or to email them. Or you might keep a running spreadsheet or a note and track some of your team's wins or their progress or things that you sincerely appreciate or want to recognize. Now, the key here is to make it specific and genuine. We want to make sure it's sincere. So we're not just saying, hey, good job. Keep up the good work. We're saying, no, hey, Bob, I saw how you handled that client call. I know that it was quite tense in there, and I really wanted to recognize the way that you stayed eloquent and composed. However, you might say that in your own words. So right now, another action step is you might consider setting a recurring reminder, maybe even choosing a specific day or time during the week, and ask yourself who deserves sincere recognition and to give a specific acknowledgement. Tip number 3, individualize your approach. There's a really great quote adapted from Rumi, who's a Persian poet, who says, "We are all different. What may be poison to one may be honey to another." I know you know that no two people are the same. So what one person might sincerely appreciate might not be appreciated by someone else. So a simple question you might ask, this could be, in a team meeting or maybe even just in your next one-to-one with someone or over lunch, just asking them, hey, what makes you feel like a valued team member? So one person might say, I feel valued when I get public recognition in meetings. Another person might say, actually, I'd prefer to get a private text message. I don't feel comfortable being called out. Some might say, I love when you put me on challenging products. And someone else might say, I want you to check in with me more frequently, or I want to get more feedback from you. And then your job is to follow through. We want to make sure that we follow through here. It's not enough to just ask the question. We've got to support it with action and results. We want to lead each person based off of how they want to be led, how they want to be led, not how you want to be led. So let's recap these 3 valuable tips. Number 1, be the bridge between leadership and your team. Number 2 is to recognize regularly and schedule it to make it happen. And number 3 is to individualize your approach, asking people what they specifically want or need, and then following through and delivering. And I invite you to pick one simple next step you might try out, ideally today, to put this into action. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you'll really like this next one, where we talk about how to build unconscious trust and rapport with others. So I'll see you there, and I'm sending you love.